Hi guys, and thank you for joining me. The stamp set that I'm featuring today is this one from WPlus9, and this is called Valentine Wishes. I really love this wreath, and I also got the matching dies. So yeah, I'm gonna be using this set and coordinating dies, and we'll use my MISTI for stamping onto my die cuts. I know I have an older video of stamping on die cuts with the MISTI, but I've changed a bit the method since then, so I believe that this is much easier than what I used to do. So I am gonna put inside my MISTI a piece of cardstock. I prefer having straight edges onto my cardstock because I mostly like to align my paper with the edges of the MISTI. I'm gonna be stamping this wreath. So I'm gonna first stamp this, and I'm gonna bring in the matching die, and we'll align this with my stamped image. These die cut very close to the edge, so it's pretty easy to align. Just gonna tape this in place with some washi and run this through my big shot. And I will be using this piece here as my guide. I went ahead and I got a bunch of these wreaths, and I'm just gonna place this inside this window, and by doing so it will be much easier stamping the coordinated image onto your die cuts. Now this wreath here has the flowers attached like in one piece, so what I will be doing, I will be inking my stamp with one color of ink, and then I will erase the ink where the flowers are, because there are separate flowers here that you can stamp with other colors. So I will be using this Catkin. This is my favorite green ink from Simon, and I'm gonna be inking this up. And I have here some Q-tips that I wet so I can remove the ink from the flowers. And there are like 2 or 3 flowers here that are not many images that have to be cleaned. Okay, and I can now stamp. And here I have the perfect alignment of the stamp with the matching die. Now because I used a wet Q-tip, I have a bit of that wet ink here, but I'm gonna be covering that with the flower stamp and it won't be noticeable. So I'm gonna go ahead and repeat the process. I really find that this way is the easiest way to stamp on your die cuts with the matching stamps. And if I didn't have to remove the ink from the flowers, this process would be much more faster than it is. So now that I have all my die cuts stamped, I will be doing the same thing for the banner that comes with this set. Now for stamping the inside of the banner, I don't need to have anything positioned in a certain way. It is pretty easy to stamp this by placing it onto an acrylic block. And just stamp on top. The stamp set comes with some great sentiments also. You have hugs and kisses, love you still, sending lots of love with this gorgeous font. So I'm gonna be stamping this hugs and kisses. And because I want to use one of the banners, I just want to make sure that I have some room there for the banner also. So probably I will position it like this. And it started raining. And I will be stamping this with some black ink if I find it. Yep, it's raining. If you hear the noise, that's the rain. It's been raining each day here in Rome for the last 3-4 days. Okay, let's see if my banner fits, and it fits. I'm gonna be stamping one with another sentiment stamp from another stamp set, and I have this big scripty greetings by Simon, and I will be using this thank you. Okay, and I will move on to making the cards, otherwise this video will be too long if I sit here and stamp all my die cuts. I'm gonna be stamping the flowers though. So you have the two flowers together, one smaller and one larger, and a single flower stamp here. I'm gonna be using my cotton candy, and you can pretty much see where to stamp. Like here is a flower, and here are two flowers. So let's see. Okay, I'm gonna flip this so I can align it correctly. Okay, and I'm gonna do another two flowers here, even. Okay, maybe one of these bigger ones, larger ones right here. And I'm gonna bring in some orange ink also. This is pretty fun to build your own wreath with the colors that you want. So I stamped one more wreath, and I've stamped the sentiment upside down, so to say. I flipped the image just because when I put the banner here, it covers the flowers. So if I flip it like this, I will have only leaves on the bottom, and it's much easier to put the banner here. So that's what I did. I could have stamped the sentiment a bit higher, but it's still gonna work like this. Now I don't want my card to be too simple, so what I will be doing, I will just trace this die cut with my pencil straight onto my card base, because I'll be doing some more stamping and I want to have like a guide to know where and how much my wreath takes from the space that is on my card base here. Now for stamping, I'll be using this flower arrangement here, and this image right here, you can find it in the wreath itself. So if you want to like build your own wreath, you can probably trace a circle and just stamp this all around. I'm gonna be using some stone gray ink from Simon, and I want these to pick a bit from behind my wreath, so I'm stamping them here and there. This area here will be covered by the wreath, so I'm not worrying that I stamped my flower like that. I'll be stamping these two leaves also with some blue ink. And because this stamp set has the flowers also, I'm gonna be stamping these small flowers too. So my battery died, and while I was stamping these flowers, but you can see that I've just placed them here and there to fill in a bit the areas. And now that I have my card base stamp, I have my wreath and also my banner here, and I can assemble my card. And I'll put this onto some dimensional tape so that it can cast a shadow when it will be on top of floral arrangement that I've stamped on the back. And I'm using a bit of this 3M Scotch foam tape, and I can now also remove the pencil line that I made because my inks are dry. Okay. And I'll also place my banner. And I'm just gonna put a bit of adhesive tape here, and we'll leave these flaps just hanging. There are 2 sentiments that you can stamp on the banner, but I just felt that none of them matched the hugs and kisses, so I will just leave my banner here without any sentiment on top. I will be adding some drops of liquid pearls, and this is the white opal, and it is a pearlescent white, just making tiny drops. And you kind of want to tap this from underneath so the liquid pearls kind of form into round drops. And I'll be adding a bit of shimmer onto the flowers. And this is my first card.